Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. For the past few days, we have been learning about the development of industries, the new industrial policy being implemented in the country, and the kind of industrial development that has taken place in the country from 1971-72 to 2009-2010. We have seen even the provision of the employment pattern in these sector, that is under the industrial sector and services sector. Today, let us move on to understand about the production of factory goods, how it has increased from 1950-51 to 2010-2011 through the graphical method which is present in your textbook. That is, the factory based goods has increased over the years. If you look at the basic industries that which were first set up in the India, the leaders who had set up these industries in India in order to industrialize the country. Establishment of those industries resulted in the increased production of these goods. Let us look at in the following charts how it has got increased. If you look at the production of steel in million tons, children, there is a graph in the text, please follow it. So if you look at the production of steel in the country, steel production and steel consumption will decide the development of the country. Even under the iron and steel also we have learned that steel consumption, the per capita consumption of steel is very less in India. It's only 32 kgs, whereas in America and other countries it is very high. So I told you, in a developed nation always the consumption of the steel will be very high. So in the production we have increased. In 1950-51 it was just 2 million tons. By 2010-2011 it has increased to 70 million tons. 70 million tons of steel goods steel is being produced, and when it comes to the finished steel, nearly 68 million tons of finished steel is also being produced. And coming to the production of the cement in 1950-51, it was only 1 or 2 million tons of cement is produced, but today the real estate industry, the construction activities are going on in a large scale. By 2010-2011, nearly 215 million tons, 215 million tons of cement is being produced in the country, and the cement in this country is being exported to the Far East and even to the Southeast Asian countries. If you look at the electricity generated, the million kilowatts of electricity that has got generated, there are many villages, there are many towns which doesn't have the provision of electricity previously, but today all the villages in the country are electrified. In 1950-51 only 5 billion kilowatts of electricity was produced, but whereas now it has got increased. By 2010-2011, 811 billion kilowatts of electricity is being produced in the country, which is useful for the agriculture as well as for the industrial development. And coming to the cloth production, how many million square meters of the cloth has been produced in the country? In the 1950-51 it is less than 5,000 million square meters of the cloth which has been produced, but whereas in 2010-2011 this has increased to nearly 35 million square meters of the cloth has been produced. So it was not only the production of the steel, cement and other important raw materials that increased tremendously over the years in these 60 years of journey, but this has resulted in the production of other consumer, because steel will allow the production of other goods. So many other intermediate and consumer goods also production increased because of the production of cement, production of electricity, production of the steel. So you can see a number of transport vehicles, pump sets are produced in the country because of the steel and electricity. And you will notice that each good serve the different purpose. You need to draw 4 separated diagrams for the production of which we have discussed in the increase in the production of each of these goods. If you look at the number of vehicles that have been produced in 1950-51 and to 2010-2011, children, there has been a tremendous increase. The number of vehicles which were seen some 10 years ago and now is completely different. Even the roads, big roads are completely jammed because of the number of vehicles, increase in the number of vehicles. And even the production of the tractors also, if you see, 465 million tractors are being produced by 2010-2011, whereas the pumps, that is power driven motors, if you see, 3,139 million pump driven vehicles are being produced, and when it comes to the motorcycles, 10,527 million vehicles, mopeds are being produced in the country. So this is a great change in the transportation activity in the country, and along with this production, there is also the risk of environmental pollution also. The production process in industries involves the use of electricity and the application of different chemicals, and in the course of production, these industries release a lot of other materials into the ground or into the rivers. So these residual materials are causing pollution in the industrial locations, and one such instance is already discussed with you in biological science textbook of class 9th, where the chemicals being emitted out of the paper industry spoils the groundwater as well as the ground. So the pollution is a big factor which has to be addressed, okay, otherwise that poses a great threat for the development of the society. So this is how we have come to the end of the lesson called as industries in the country, children. We learnt about the agro based industries, we learnt about mineral based industry, and how the development of the industries and the policies, the government policies also we have learned. Tomorrow we shall start a new unit. Thank you.